Jeffrey wants to achieve more than his peers. This is the day that he's gonna get some proper work done. I'll just scroll on TikTok whilst my laptop powers on. His laptop turns on, but he keeps scrolling. Just 5 more minutes. It happens to the best of us, Jeffrey. Adonis gets 10,000 times more work done than the average man of his age. Every day, before Adonis sits down to get his work done, he meditates for 1 hour straight and rids his office of all distractions. This is how Adonis achieves so much. How to achieve 10 times more than your peers. I probably achieve and get done more than 10 times of what I used to and what like a normal person would. In one morning before noon, like before 12 o'clock, I can do an entire week's worth of work. We upload 1 video a day to this channel. That's 7 videos a week and I can record all 7 before 12 o'clock, which means I've done a week's worth of work before lunchtime. Comparing that to how I used to work when I was in high school, I was a lot less effective then. So I would wake up and straight away just go eat some big meal which had hundreds of grams of carbs. Maybe it was like some shit food like cereal that just like fucks up your brain and now you're lethargic and you've got brain fog. And then I try and study after that. I try and read the book that I needed to read for school and not even remember anything from it. And maybe I'd look at the book for like 3 minutes at a time before grabbing my phone and like, I was gonna say grabbing my phone to text someone, but to be honest, I was lonely back then. I didn't have anyone to text, so I just grab my phone and just like, I don't know, scroll on Facebook and go look at pictures of girls or some shit. Get my testosterone boost. I want you to answer this question in your own brain. Are you good at getting work done? Now you might have the desire to get a lot of work done, to be successful, that's awesome. But are you actually good at getting work done? Like, can you actually study a quality amount for hours straight without distracting yourself with your phone? Do you need to use all these like Jeffrey pussy tactics, like at the Pomodoro technique of like, yeah, just do 25 minutes of work, then I can have a 5-minute break. Like you need breaks every 20 minutes. Come on, bro. What I'm gonna teach you in this video will drastically improve how much you achieve in life. That means that before long, it'll be so much easier for you to actually sit down and do some quality work. There's 3 things that we're gonna cover which will drastically improve your work rate and therefore how much you achieve. And the first strategy is intermittent fasting. This is the single greatest thing you can do to improve your productivity is fast. Don't eat anything just before you wanna do some work. For the last 1 minute or so, maybe my editor will show you, I've literally just been sat here just coping. Guess what? Because I had a big meal before this. I had like a business lunch, which is an announcement we're gonna make. I've just done a deal with someone. But I literally just had a big meal with a bunch of carbs and chicken and shit. Now I'm digesting food and I just wanna fucking like just cancel, I can't be arsed, bro. I literally like honestly right now I cannot be arsed because I am not currently fasted. If there's one thing you ever take from me to improve your productivity, I guarantee it's just fast before you wanna do some work. So wake up, don't eat anything for like 2 to 4 hours. And in that time, just drink some black coffee, literally nothing with any calories, and just do the work. And I guarantee you will think like, wow, this is actually a big difference. If you're used to just eating throughout the day because you followed my advice and you get into the gym and you've been eating protein and everything and you want higher carbs to make more muscle and get more gains, trust me when I say that's not conductive to your work rate and the productivity that you want to have. And so there is potentially a better way to do this because intermittent fasting, no matter what anyone says, I will tell you the truth, it's not good for bodybuilding. The best case scenario for making muscle and improving your strength in the gym is to eat around the clock, 6 small meals, high carb, high protein, medium fat, you know that. The best thing for your work rate and productivity is the exact opposite of that. So we need to figure out a way that we can have both. The way that I personally do this is that I decide which season of my life I'm in. So I decide, okay, am I in a season where being an athlete, a bodybuilder, a fighter means more to me than my work? Or am I in a season where my work, where I've got to sit down in front of a laptop and do like a bunch of bullshit? Which one is more important right now? If work and studying is more important, then you should optimize your diet to help you with that. But if bodybuilding is more important and you don't really care about productivity, then why are you even watching this video? Chances are, because you're watching this video right now in your life, studying or work or whatever your like tasks are is actually more important than your fitness journey, which sometimes that happens to me as well. And so for that reason, you should set up your diet to help with that. The second thing that you can do to drastically increase your work rate is to adopt the strategy of deep work. I won't go into this much because I've mentioned deep work so many times and I have like a full guide to it that will appear as a card. It'll be linked in the description. Just go and have a look at that link. But in a very short summary, deep work is a concept created by this author, Cal Newport. And it's just like the better way to work with no distraction. So essentially, when you're doing a task, you only do that task and you don't stop that task for any bullshit breaks like a Pomodoro. Bro, Pomodoro technique's fucking cringe, bro. Honestly, if you're a grown-ass adult and you need to tell yourself like, oh, only 25 minutes and then I can have some sweeties, like, go shut up, bro. Deep work is so much better, and that's where you don't take a break for at least 1.5 minutes of direct work. You literally just sit down, you do the work for at least 90 minutes, you beast it out, you don't look at anything else that's distracting, and then after like 1 to 2 hours of deep focus work, you can go like chill for the rest of the day, because that 2 hours is better than most people's like 20 hours. And finally, the third and most interesting thing that you can do to achieve so much more than everyone else around you and just drastically increase your work rate is your self-image. I think this is the most important part. Your self-image is kind of like your identity. It's how you see yourself yourself. If you go onto my second channel, Hamza Unfiltered, and you change the, like, you know, on the channel page, you can click on the little setting on the videos that shows it from like the oldest. You can see all the videos that I did in my old home environment where, you know, I sat down and talked to the camera. And the first one that I recorded, which was out and about, is titled something like, I thought I was stupid for most of my life. You might want to go and watch that, because my identity, my self-image for most of my life was that I was not smart. I wasn't intelligent. I don't know how I adopted that belief, whether, you know, there were some bullshit teachers who might have said some shit to me like, oh yeah, you know, you keep struggling with this, or, you know, like the school system is entirely fucked, because when you're a kid and you keep getting handed back like bad grades, you know, you got a C, you got a D, every single time you got a bad grade, your identity changes to that of someone who isn't a good student, who's not good at learning, who isn't smart. And so if you didn't perform so well in your early years of school, it can drastically affect you for the rest of your life, not because of like how many grades you got or any bullshit, but because of what happens to your beliefs about yourself from this. And so for most of my life, I literally thought I was stupid. You know, if you want the biggest impact possible from this video to help you, it'd be so wise for you to just continue watching, and just as I keep speaking, just think to yourself right now what you believe about your own achievements and about your capability for success. I'm not asking you to hype yourself up with some like false bravado of like, yeah, I'm so sick, oh, I'm top G or some shit. Don't just hype yourself up like that, but really ask yourself, what are your deep internal beliefs about yourself? All of the Jeffreys are gonna click off right now because this is the boring part. You know, they just wanted me to say like, number 7, semen retention, but this deep psychological understanding of the beliefs that you have about yourself will change more than you realize if you just take some time right now and think to yourself, what beliefs could have been implanted into you? How did teachers treat you when you were a child? How did your parents treat you? What kind of like words were you saying in your own brain as you went through the education system and when you went into your journey of trying to become a successful young man? Because I had to do some like deep psychological spring cleaning. That's the good way to say it. Spring cleaning. I had to go deep into my brain, pull out the beliefs that didn't help me, implant beliefs that would, and that's what made me successful. If there's one major thing that really made me successful over the last 1 and 2 years, it's more psychology than everything else. Just recently I've done this, and you wouldn't even believe the extent that I've done this to, like manipulating my own brain to believe different things about me. But for example, I watched an old video of mine, it's on this main channel, and it's titled Entire 6-Year Self-Improvement Journey. You might not have seen it because it's an older video, it doesn't have that many views, but in this video, you know, it's like an hour long, and I just go through my self-improvement journey, what I did, my fitness, you know, how I was getting girls and everything. So you might want to go watch that video because it is pretty nice. But I watched it all, and there was a point in this video where I mentioned that all I would really do at this point in my life was like just kind of like stay at home. Like, yeah, like I like chilling at home. I've always been like that for as long as I can remember. I've always been the guy who just kind of like chills at home. I'm not like a person who's like an out of the house kind of person. You know what I mean? So like most days, for most of my life, I've spent all day at home, and maybe the only time I leave my house is just to go to the gym or to work or to school. But I'll never just be like out and about for like no reason. Some people are like that, aren't they? You might have some friends who are like always outside their house, whereas you might be the guy who's just like inside, you know, on your PC or your phone or something. I've always been like that. And when I watched this video just randomly a few days ago, something just clicked in my mind. I was like, wait, what if that was an implanted belief? What if this was an implanted belief about myself, that I'm just the kind of guy who stays at home? And I thought to myself, okay, where did that belief get implanted? Who implanted that belief inside of my mind? Well, there was 2 moments, 2 people who did this. One was my mother. She ingrained this belief in me, like, no, we stay at home, we don't go outside too much. You know, she was always quite anxious and, you know, quite like an overprotective mother, didn't want me to like go outside and like be a boy much. If you're gonna play out, fine, okay, come back in an hour because we stay at home. But the second person who implanted that belief into me was myself, because in 2018 I was attacked on a train in Manchester, this whole like racist thing. It really did shape my life, I'm not gonna lie. And from that moment where PTSD developed, honestly, truly PTSD did develop, I started having flashbacks, night sweat, very violent, intrusive thoughts, because I'd just been attacked. I'd been like ganged up by 2 guys trying to like stab me because I was brown skinned, and one of the guys got put in jail for 18 months. Obviously, when that's something like that happens, you know, there's different ways you can process it, but for me personally, when this happened to me, I just kind of stayed inside. That was like my way to stay safe. And I just observed all this, you know, analyzed all this a few days ago, and I just thought to myself, wait, hang on, what if I just refuse to believe that? What if I refuse to believe I'm the kind of guy who never leaves his house apart from like the gym? What if I start to believe, no, actually, you know what, I'm a really social guy, I'm out and about all the time, I'm having lunch with someone, I'm having coffee with someone, I'm having dinner with someone. What I want you to take away from this is that you can literally pick and choose your beliefs. So why not just choose the ones that serve you? I journaled this, I wrote it down, and I showed it to my friend Sam, and I just said to him, like, you know what, my new belief is that I'm someone who likes to be out and about. Yeah, sure, I like spending some time at home, yeah, sure, but I like to be out and about and like be around other people, especially around other successful people too. The new stage in my life, if you are wondering where I'm up to in my own personal life, the new level that I've got to is that I don't actually have much work to do. The only task that I have that I can do at home is literally just record these videos. Like I told you, I can record 7 videos in like one sitting. That means that I don't actually have that much like work, productive things to do in the home. And yet you'll probably believe this, for me to become more successful, like the next level of success, it now is going to like stereotypical like business lunch. Like I just had a business lunch with I won't say just yet, but I just had a business lunch with someone, and we've got some plans coming up, and probably by the time you watch this video, it's already been announced. You've probably seen like the first episode of what we're gonna do. That's where the new success is coming from. That's how I'm 10 times my success than my peers who are just focused on like YouTube work and stuff. So I hope this video helps you. They're the 3 main principles I found to just do more than everyone else, and if you use them, you will absolutely dominate your competition. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah!